you know, I think if we were to take the average daily like nuts busted from the ages of like 12 to 18, it would probably be around 1 a day, right? Well, I was definitely an overachiever in that aspect. I hope that you can relate when I say that there were literally times when I would try and beat my record for like most consecutive nuts busted in a row. That's in one sitting, by the way. And while I won't discuss that result today, I want to get into the actual serious part of the video, because I was also an outlier in the fact that I think I was exposed to it a lot sooner than most people. If you were to take another average, I think you'd find that most guys were exposed to porn for the first time around ages 12 to 14, somewhere in that range. Well, I was definitely an outlier because I was 8 years old, and you know, innocent 8-year-old me was not prepared in any fashion for what he would eventually encounter, nor did he have any idea that what he was about to witness was going to be a pretty huge part of his life going forward over the next several years. And what pisses me off about this is that I remember one day my mom like called me into the living room. She sat me down, she told me that she'd found like my search history, because I basically didn't have my own like computer, so I used to use her laptop to like look this stuff up. And because I was a little dumbass 8-year-old, I didn't clear the search history. And yeah, one day she just sat me down, she told me what she'd found, and obviously she was like concerned and everything, and I told her like, oh
no, I just stumbled upon this by accident because I was searching this one thing, I came across this, and
you know, just coming up with excuses. And eventually she was just like, oh okay, and she let me go, and obviously she knew that what I was saying was bullshit. From then on, we just never spoke about it again. And don't get me wrong, I'm super grateful for my upbringing, you know, as a whole, but I just wish that maybe she told my dad, and then he sat me down one day and just told me the dangers and consequences of something like this, you know, long term. And that it would lead to literally years of just horrible self-image, hopelessness, and an addiction that would last me for the next 8 years of my life. But this is why I'm making this video for you today. I'm honestly making this video for my younger self, who was fully addicted, was going at it 2 to 3 times a day, constantly relapsing and just feeling like shit. And just tell him that 1, he's not alone, and 2, quitting porn is not what you think it is. Because I guarantee that right now, if you can sit and just watch the entire video until the end, your entire perspective of porn and masturbation is going to change dramatically. And this is regardless of who you are, because maybe you're someone who genuinely thinks that what they're watching is beneficial in some way. If you're someone who's just a casual viewer, but if you're someone who, like me, was heavily addicted, going at it several times a day and just couldn't seem to stop, they tried every method before and nothing's working, I really fucking hope that this video changes your perspective. Because the truth about porn is that you have been sold a huge fucking lie, because you've been convinced that quitting porn is this really hard and, you know, sufferable process, that you'll get benefits from it like
reduced risk of prostate cancer,
even though that's heavily outweighed by the fact that you feel like shit, your mental health and well-being takes a huge toll. But obviously none of the normies are going to speak about this shit because they're just fucking dumbasses, and that ultimately you'll have something to lose if you stop watching it. But I'll be breaking down all of these limiting beliefs in this video, because at the end of the day, quitting porn does not come down to willpower, counting the days, you know, NoFap streak, taking cold showers, doing push-ups, website blockers, all this shit. You hear all this stuff online from people who don't even want to help you, because quitting porn really just comes down to, and this doesn't sound sexy, but it's the truth, your beliefs. Because be honest right now, you believe that you need porn in your life because it helps in some way. It helps relieve stress. It helps relieve the horniness that you constantly feel. You know, you feel deep down like you need it in your life in some way. If it was out of your life, you'd be missing out, you'd be losing something. And the biggest one, ultimately, is that you think that it's hard to quit. Now, where do these beliefs actually come from? What evidence is there to suggest that these beliefs are in any way true? Now you might think this is super obvious, like, oh, but it relieves stress, it helps me when I'm horny and I feel down, you know, it helps me relieve stress, it makes me feel better, and you know, I need it in my life for those reasons. And clearly it's hard to quit, because you see all these guys online who are constantly relapsing. It's so difficult, so few guys have overcome it, and ultimately what you think is that porn will solve your problems. But let's just stop for 1 second and think about this. Do you think that you would have these problems like stress, like fatigue, like tiredness, whatever it may be? Do you think that you would have any of these problems if you were never exposed to porn in the first place? Let me tell you a story, okay? There's a man, he's called Jimmy, and Jimmy loves chocolate cake. He loves it. This guy is heavily addicted to sugar. He loves sugar so much and he craves it all the time. And so what does he do? Well, he eats chocolate cake every time that he gets a craving, every time that he feels stressed, whatever it may be, he eats chocolate cake because, you know, it relieves the craving. It helps him feel less stressed. It helps calm him down. You know, all these problems that he has are helped by the fact that he eats chocolate cake, he eats sugar. So for him, it's not that bad, right? If that's how it must be, he has to eat chocolate cake to relieve these problems, then fine, you know, so be it. But if you're a logical human being, which I hope you are, you'll probably be thinking, but what if he was never exposed to chocolate cake in the first place? What if from a young age he was never exposed to sugar, he never ate sugar, and his brain never got a chance to adapt to, you know, its like addictive nature? Would he still have the problems of like stress and craving for that thing? Would he constantly go back to it? Well, no, because he wouldn't know that it exists. Of course he wouldn't go back to it. And so this is just to say, was the chocolate cake helping his problems? Or was it actually the cause of the problems in the first place? Just think about it, because he wouldn't get these cravings for sugar and he wouldn't get the stress to eat sugar if he'd never tried sugar in the first place, would he? And so now here's my question to you. Do you think that you would crave masturbation and porn whenever you were stressed or tired or horny if you'd never known about it in the first place? If you'd never knew about porn, you never watched porn, would that feeling to watch it be there to then help solve these problems that you have? Or maybe, just maybe, might porn itself be the cause of these problems that you have in the first place? Because honestly, in reality, porn is not some special outlier that everyone makes it out to be. It's pretty much exactly the same as every other thing which is bad for us that people just can't seem to quit. Sugar, cigarettes, alcohol, even extreme drugs like heroin, cocaine, all come back to the same fundamentals when it comes to actually quitting for good. Because these things do not in and of themselves relieve stress. That's just an illusion that they want you to believe. Because in reality, it's actually the opposite. Every craving that you get to view it, every withdrawal feeling that you get when you don't watch it and you want to watch it, those would not exist if porn didn't exist. The stress that you relieve by watching porn would not be there in the first place if you never watched porn. And so porn is not the solution to these problems. It's the cause of them in the first place. And right now you believe that watching porn is a solution to your problems and not a cause. And so you're just in a loop of watching porn, getting horny and stressed later down the line, and then watching more porn again to relieve those very feelings which were caused by watching porn in the first place. Because you know that whenever you watch porn more and more, the craving, the feeling to watch it that compels you to watch it, comes back stronger every single time. You know that over time, the more and more you watch it, the more extreme that it gets. You know, you start off with just like a simple taxi blowjob, and then you get onto like, well, I'm not going to say it out loud, but you need to realize that using porn to solve your problems is only making them worse, because porn is the cause of these problems in the first place. Porn is the reason that you want to watch more porn. It's the very thing which is making you feel stressed and anxious and horny all the time. All of these feelings that lead you to watch porn because you think that porn will solve the problem, but it won't. It will only make it worse, because again, it's what's causing them to begin with. These feelings would not exist otherwise, and if they did, one, it would not be a result of porn, and so you wouldn't want to go to porn to solve the problem, and two, you wouldn't go to porn to solve your problem if you never knew that it existed, and so why are you going to use it to solve your problems now? Now, right now, as I'm saying this, your mind might start like comprehending what I'm saying and start realizing that, oh shit, that's a good point. But it also might be coming up with reasons to why what I'm saying is bullshit. It's not true. That can't be true. But just stop for a second and see what thoughts are popping up as I'm speaking these words, because right now you might not be completely convinced, which is fair enough, but you also might just be pissed off. You might start to realize what I'm saying and like thinking, oh shit, he's right. And that should piss you off, because I know for a fact that when I found this out, I was pissed off. And I know that right now, part of you knows for a fact that what I'm saying is true. That all these beliefs that you have around porn all stem from false beliefs that have been put onto you from other people in this space of like NoFap and self-improvement who have no idea what they're talking about and also don't even want to help you. And if you are pissed off right now, which again, I don't blame you, but don't be pissed off at me. Get pissed at society and these fucking porn companies who have convinced you that what you're doing is healthy and good for you in some way, and that it's difficult to quit. But it's not. And now you're starting to see that. And as I say, the worst part is that you've been convinced that quitting porn is difficult. That is some painful process where you need to use willpower to quit, and it's so tough, it's so difficult. And I believed this for the longest time. I can't tell you how many times I used the willpower method, or counted the days, or fucking tried to do cold showers, push-ups, all this shit that never works. What you need to realize is that if you believe that something is going to be difficult, then it is going to be difficult. And that frame of mind has never worked for you in the past. So why would it work for you now? And again, this might piss you off to hear this, but quitting is not difficult at all. You've been convinced that it's difficult by these people online who use these fucking bullshit methods, willpower, NoFap streaks,
cold showers, push-ups, website blockers.
None of it works, and all these people use those methods which don't work, which is why it seems difficult to quit. Because in reality, the only way to actually quit porn for good is to just change your beliefs around it. Because porn is not beneficial in any way. You're not gaining anything by watching it. You're not losing anything by quitting. You're only gaining back your health, your mental clarity, your focus, your happiness, your ability to look at women in a non-sexualized way and actually have a normal conversation. So you have nothing to gain, 0% gains from watching it, but you have everything to gain from not watching it. The idea that you need it to relieve stress or anxiety is completely untrue, because again, would they be there, stress and anxiety? Would you have them in the first place if you never watched it? No, these feelings of stress, withdrawal, desperation to watch it and do the thing are there because you watched it in the first place. And when you internalize this and realize that every single belief that you have around porn is untrue, and these very beliefs which are false are the reason which you are still hooked to porn, you are going to be very, very pissed off that you didn't find this out sooner. Because the thing is, all these NoFap Reddit forums and communities online, they want you to keep failing, because it means that you keep going back. They want you to keep relapsing and keep counting the days
Oh, NoFap street guys.
like a fucking idiot, so that you keep going back for more bullshit advice that doesn't fucking work. Why do you think that they're so popular? Why do you think that hundreds of thousands of guys are on there every single day? That you keep going back. So the whole time that you've been trying to quit through these bullshit methods which don't work and just make you relapse even more. But hopefully with this video, you see the truth. And you can finally just let go of this mental burden that you have around porn and masturbation. Let go of all these lies told to you by these fucking subreddits online, these online forums, telling you that it's super difficult to quit, guys.
Oh, I keep relapsing, guys. Feel sorry for me.
Or that you need willpower to quit. You don't. And when you finally accept that everything that you thought you knew about it just stemmed from this false set of beliefs pushed onto you, you'll be able to see the feeling of wanting to do it that compels you to do it for what it really is. Realize just how silly and fucking stupid it is, and just pass it off like any other thought that you get. And I know it's true because I've experienced it. Every single time that I get a horny thought now, I just accept it. I just think to myself, oh yeah, I used to get this and then go straight to porn and masturbation, but now I just see it for what it is, which again is just part of the past to me. I no longer feel compelled in any way to take action on any thought that I get, because I know for a fact that, well, any of these problems that I have, maybe stress or anxiety or whatever it may be to compel me to do that thing, would only be made worse and would cause those problems to be severe in the first place. So why would I go watch it? It's stupid. And I want the same for you. Now obviously, as I say, don't expect to not get any cravings at all. You will get them, but they won't really be cravings. It will more just be like a feeling, a thought that you get to do the thing, which will just be there because you've been so used to doing it for like years on end now. It would just be like a symptom of you stopping the thing. But when you do get the thought, you won't feel compelled to actually do the thing. You won't actually want to do the thing. You'll just get the thought, if you know what I mean. You'll just see them as stupid beliefs that were part of the past you. And now you're beyond that because you see the truth. So with that being said, I really hope that this video helped change your perspective on porn forever. If you want to read the full book that inspired this video, I'll put that link in the description. It's a free PDF, you know, there's no pricing. You can read it completely for free. Also, if you're interested, I do coaching. That's the top link in the description. But thank you for watching and stay focused.